Hi, my name is Sheri Bish, and I did my presentation on Cuba, a land of no prosperity. Life in Cuba is controlled mainly by the government. They control almost every aspect of life, and basic human rights are limited. And what I have here is just a little map of Cuba, which is just south of Key West, Florida. In Cuba, the socioeconomic ladder is basically non-existent. There's no way to improve or go up or down the ladder unless you're part of the government. People are not allowed to move from town to town. Basically, you're given your housing as part of their free government that they have that provides food, housing, and health care, but that really comes as more of a cost than it is free. And reproductive health education is really not at its peak for Cuba being such a high health conscious country, providing free health care to their to the people of Cuba. So socioeconomic status, everybody works for the government. When they do this work for the government, they are paid in very small denominations, basically equivalent to about 12 to 15 US dollars a month. They do get a ration card for their food, but it is not enough to feed the family for the month. So many families have to choose between getting excess food to feed the family or getting clothing or other items that are needed. Home-based businesses or entrepreneurship is banned in Cuba, so everything that you do, you must do for the government. Like I said before, moving is not allowed. As you can see in the pictures here, the pictures on the right hand is what normal housing for the Cuban residents look like, but on the left hand side is the nice upscale apartments that the people who work for the government or who live in the travel towns live in. If you're caught being in the city, they will check your identification, and if they feel like you're living there and you're not supposed to be, you will be deported from the city back to where you're supposed to live, and you can be fined a pretty hefty fine. So people in the tourist town can profit from tourism and other benefits that come with living in those areas, but that's where the not being able to move comes in. So your higher class families that already live in those tourism towns, that's where they make their money. Reproductive health education. They used to do illegal abortions that were being done in dirty, like backstreet clinics, and even though Fidel Castro was not happy about legalizing abortions, he felt that it was safer to legalize them and have them done in nice, clean facilities rather than having them done in these back alleys. The adolescent abortion rates are high because the adolescents are very sexually active in Cuba, and they don't teach them the health concerns that come with having abortions. So many girls have had multiple abortions, and they don't tell them about the health issues that can come with that later on in their life as well. They do use some alternatives to contraceptive that we do not use here in the United States. One of them is menstrual regulation, where once you've missed your period, they will go in and basically do what we call here in the United States a D&C, where they go in and they just clean everything out, and if there's an egg in there, then it's taken care of. If not, then it's considered a preventative measure. One of the mysteries with Cuba's health industry is the maternal mortality rates. It's fairly high compared to other countries, as well as in conjunction with their other health concerns, and they really aren't sure why, because the mothers are taken care of during their prenatal term. They're always, most of them give birth in health facilities, so they're not quite sure what the maternal mortality rate is caused by. In conclusion, life in Cuba is very much controlled by the government. This control has prohibited Cubans from having any sort of economic growth. Now, there are some steps that are being taken by Fidel Castro's brother, Raul Castro, who wants to ease up from communism a little bit, but it's hard to make that big of a change with a country that is that so much ingrained in the way that they do things. I have seen on the news recently that President Obama is working on lowering the trade embargo with Cuba, but the problem with that is that they are only allowed to trade when they pay with cash, but they're so poor they have no cash to buy anything. So even though the trade embargo is being lifted, it's still going to take them quite a while to be able to catch up. They say that it looks like Cuba is stuck in the 1950s, and that's very much so because that's when Fidel Castro took over and everything kind of stopped there. So, like I said, there's some long overdue changes that are coming, and they're ready for them. So that is all that I have on my essay for Cuba. Thank you.